Welcome to this podcast, produced in conjunction with the South Carolina Synod of the ELCA. I am your host for this episode, Dr. Susan McArver, retired professor of church history at Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary. I'm pleased to welcome to this conversation Dr. Chad Rimmer, the Dean and Rector of Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary, located on the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University. Dr. Rimmer has been in this position since April 2023. Before that, he served globally across the Lutheran World Federation as a parish pastor in Senegal and a teaching theologian elsewhere. He was most recently the program executive for theology and practice at the Lutheran World Federation's Department of Theology, Mission, and Social Justice in Geneva, Switzerland. We welcome Dr. Rimmer to this conversation. Dr. Rimmer, this is part of a larger series that the Synod is producing. Our particular episode is on unity and uniformity, the similarities and differences between those two. And your time as a pastor in Senegal and elsewhere and working for the Lutheran World Federation has given you, I think, a unique perspective on varieties of Lutherans around the world. You know firsthand that the question of what is a Lutheran looks different in different places and different cultures. And so I'd like to start out by just asking a relatively simple question, actually, and that is, what is the Lutheran World Federation, for those who don't know? How did it come into being? And what is its mission and purpose? And who does it comprise?
Yes, and thank you, Dr. McArver, for having me. It's a joy to share this perspective from the LWF because it is our global communion of Lutheran churches around the world, of which the ELCA, which most of us are familiar with, of course, is our national church, is just one of 154 churches around the world today. I think most people are probably familiar with the idea of global communions through, for example, the Roman Catholic Church, whose seat is in the Vatican, or the Anglican Communion, whose seat is at Canterbury in the UK. And for Lutherans, the Lutheran World Federation's our global expression, this communion of churches whose seat today of the Secretariat is in Geneva, Switzerland. It was begun actually as a project of unity between the two world wars. One of the first initiatives for this federation that's become a communion of Lutheran churches was begun around 1926 with a question of Lutheran identity and what it meant to be Lutherans together around the world, which is remarkably one of the same questions we're asking today. It was derailed, the efforts, of course, by World War II. And then in the wake of World War II, those churches came together to respond to the humanitarian need of refugees in crisis and rebuilding Europe, basically. And out of that initiative was founded what we know today as the LWF in 1946. And today, there are 154 Lutheran churches. Again, the ELCA is just one. That's 78 million Lutherans around the world in 7 regions. And the office, the Secretariat, is still located in Geneva, Switzerland, along with the offices of the World Council of Churches, ACT Alliance. And the aim there was to be present and participate in those organizations of the United Nations and the treaty bodies, so that not only were we engaged in work of unity, but we could also be a publicly engaged communion in terms of humanitarian action and ecumenism. So that's what the LWF has become today.